In this video, I'm going to be going over the 15 best quarterbacks in the 2024 NFL Draft in order of their consensus big board pick. Be on the lookout for your favorite team in this video. You may have connections to some of these quarterbacks. Enjoy. Let's begin with the clear-cut #1 quarterback at this time. Caleb Williams is a dog. From a school that has historically produced many first-round quarterbacks in the past, Caleb Williams may be the best one. En route to his 2022 Heisman victory, he broke 9 school single-season records. Now, he looks to repeat this season, but that might not happen. Williams brings an elite combination of different quarterback traits to the NFL, mostly physical. He's got great arm strength, very nice mobility, good accuracy, it just continues on. He's called a generational quarterback prospect due to this combination. He's got the ability to make almost any throw possible, and he knows exactly where to deliver a ball. He's no perfect prospect though. There are 2 smallish problems that come with Caleb. Number 1, he's got some timing concerns. He often misses throws and opts out of throws to make the more flashy play. Number 2, his escapability is great talent-wise, but his overall pocket presence could use some improvements. He will leave the pocket too early to expand the play and, guess what, make the more flashy play. And I don't blame him. He's flashy in a great way. Most teams can absolutely benefit from getting Williams. Those top draft slots like Chicago, Denver, Arizona, New England, all of them should be on the lookout for Caleb Williams. Sam Howell's successor, Drake Maye, is number 2 on the consensus. Maye won so many awards as a redshirt freshman last year, including ACC Player of the Year, several Freshman of the Year awards, and he's ranked as the number 2 quarterback in this class. He's your typical build at the position, but don't let that fool you, he's not your typical quarterback. Drake Maye is built like a quarterback who can run at some points, but primarily focuses on punishing the coverage in the air. Despite his looks, he's a plus runner who can begin his run with top-tier escapability and turn it into an elusive open field threat with phenomenal running back-like vision. But we're talking about a quarterback here. As a passer, he's a great adjuster in many different ways, from adjusting power in terms of gap size, adjusting throwing angle to work around the defenders, and adjusting his positioning on the field to make a throw easier. He's got solid arm strength, but not plus strength, but he does have plus accuracy, delivering passes perfectly at all 3 levels. On the downside, he does tend to hold on to the football too long on some occasions, and he doesn't have that elite poise that a next level QB should have. He takes sacks too often, and behind a bad offensive line, he may not perform to full potential. Maye is a wonderful dual threat who is not as flashy as Caleb Williams is, but he's more consistent at the position. The same teams mentioned for Williams should also be mentioned on the Drake Maye watch as well. QB3 in this class, according to consensus, is Penix Jr, a 6th-year quarterback out of Washington. Indiana fans are really missing Penix here, as in his 5th year of playing 5 or more games, he has been killing the competition. Currently the Heisman frontrunner, Penix is looking to expand on his legacy at the next level. Penix is not a fantastic runner, but it makes up when you're a phenomenal passer, quite possibly the best in this draft. He's a fantastic adjuster who can make different kinds of throws at all 3 levels of the field. He's the best decision maker and processor in the country, dotting up receivers efficiently with his solid accuracy and very nice arm strength. He has some fantastic poise as well, but it's not some of the best I've seen. He almost reminds me exactly of a pre-injury Hendon Hooker, which in most ways is positive, but the negative ways are a perfect match. First, this is Penix's 6th year in college football, and he has an age problem in the grand scheme. Second, he has some injury concerns after multiple season-ending injuries at Indiana. So literally, he is the Washington version of Hendon Hooker, except he's got some better statistics and he may have a Heisman on his belt. Penix Jr. is projected to be the 3rd quarterback selected, so expect teams like New England, Las Vegas, or Minnesota to be in on him. Up next is Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers, who is absolutely balling for Texas this year. I have my own personal concerns about Ewers, but this is a report, so let's dive right in. Ewers as a passer is one to enjoy. He's very accurate at all 3 levels of the field, he's great at making adjustments, and he's got very decent poise and confidence in the pocket. Along with that, he's a young gun, and he will be under 2 months 21 once the draft commences. He's got some other solid traits like out-of-pocket playmaking and IQ. The negatives are a bit like his subpar arm strength and an atypical quarterback build. The biggest one though has to be his scheme-specific nature. Without good arm strength, he's playing in a massive RPO-based offense that you see more of in college than you do in the NFL. It's going to be a hard transition for Ewers to the NFL. I have my own doubts, but nonetheless, he's still playing like a round 1 quarterback. The teams that I just mentioned for Michael Penix should also be on the lookout for Quinn Ewers. Now we have a slightly controversial topic with Shedeur Sanders. One who many believed is an overhyped prospect, there's still no denying that he's up there. Sanders has been balling this season, and he's playing like a Heisman candidate. Sanders has improved greatly as a quarterback and adjusted to the higher competition. His ability to playmake out of the pocket is phenomenal, with some nice adjustment abilities and very solid mobility. That doesn't even include his passing traits, where he has some great arm strength, accuracy, and ability to thread the needle if needed. Now, some see him as overhyped due to his father, but also his pocket presence is not great. Under pressure, he often takes sacks instead of trying to escape, and when he does escape, it's often too early. Other things include lack of resume and ball security when getting hit. It's hard not to note Sanders' great development, and it's going to hype up his transition to the NFL. Same teams as the last 2 guys, but you may want to mix Atlanta in there since I'm not sure 5 quarterbacks are going to go that high. The quarterback who forced Cade McNamara out of town comes in at number 6. JJ McCarthy is ready for the draft, and a so far impressive 2023 campaign is just going to improve his draft stock. While Michigan quarterbacks constantly have high standards, McCarthy absolutely meets them so far. McCarthy is a great athlete who normally plays behind the line of scrimmage with fantastic pocket presence and short area elusiveness. As a gunslinger, he zips passes to receivers and makes accurate throws at all 3 levels of the field. Often enough, his passes are viewed as risky, but he pulls them off almost always. On the flip side, McCarthy has a lean frame for a quarterback, bringing in injury concerns. He also has some problems with his poise and under pressure tendencies, almost as bad as CJ Stroud's when he was a prospect. Speaking of Stroud, he often lofts passes, and McCarthy has that same mental tendency. McCarthy is a very solid prospect. If used correctly, he could turn into a very nice dual threat at the next level. High 2nd round picks, or maybe even mix in Atlanta and Tampa Bay, those teams should be on the lookout for McCarthy. Next up is Bo Nix, quarterback for Oregon. He may be on the older side of things, but man, he can ball. He hasn't shown any true concerns this season, and that should continue to boost his stock. Nix's positives start through his arm talent. He's got nice accuracy everywhere, and while it's not plus accuracy, he still delivers it enough to ensure a catch by the receiver. He has the arm talent to deliver passes deep, and while it's also nothing elite, it's enough to be a starting quarterback. As for his mobility, he's sneakily mobile despite his thick frame. He's got the poise and the pocket presence to make something out of nothing. On the negative end, he does sometimes struggle with his receivers, struggling with timing, and he also sometimes relies on them a little too much. He doesn't have any elite traits, and while that's okay, it gives off Justin Herbert vibes when clutch time comes around. Overall, Nix is a very nice quarterback. Now, I'm not sure if he's a 1st round talent right now, given his age, but he still gives teams a competitive option. In the 2nd round, teams like Minnesota or maybe even New England should be on the lookout here. Back-to-back 5th years as Spencer Rattler comes in 8th on this list. Rattler is pretty polarizing as he may not have the production, but he has the talent. Rattler has the traits to be a great quarterback. He's accurate at all 3 levels of the field. He's got some great adjusting ability in and out of the pocket. He has the ability to hit every inch of the field, and especially in the short game, he's got a nice tendency to zip balls to fit in tight gaps. That's about where the positives end. As for the negatives, he's got some bad decision making, and again, if you know me, I am so critical of poise. Rattler is scared in the pocket. He can't deliver at an exceptional level in there, and when pressured, all he thinks about is get out. On the ground, he's also not a great threat, but it's not like he's strictly stuck behind the line of scrimmage. Rattler is in his 5th year, and he's somehow still a raw prospect. The right coaching could make him a great quarterback, but only a couple of teams really have those schemes. Backup QB needy teams like the Rams or the 49ers should be on lookout for Spencer Rattler. The 9th ranked quarterback according to consensus is Duke signal caller Riley Leonard. A nice prospect who has fallen due to injury, he's still a very good trait-filled quarterback. Despite his skinny frame, Riley Leonard possesses very nice physical traits, trusting in himself to make nice plays in the pocket. He's got no top-tier arm talents, but he has some decent accuracy and strength to move the sticks. Out of the pocket, he's an athletic runner who, while he sometimes makes some bad decisions to scramble, it pays off with some explosive runs here and there. On the flip side, he's not great at reading a defense, which is big for NFL translation. His decision making is questionable, as I said before, but it's not the most concerning. He's just missing that elite trait to capture the clutch gene. Leonard is not someone that I was personally high on going into the season, but I'm going to have to take a closer look at him. Leonard should also be targeted by backup QB needy teams like the Rams or the 49ers. The extremely athletic Jayden Daniels comes in the 10th spot on this list. I've heard rumors about Daniels switching to running back or wide receiver when he comes into the NFL. With how he's playing this season, that rumor's in doubt. Daniels' athleticism is obviously his best trait, but in no way is it his only. He's a very creative passer who can weave through defenders and make very hard throws. He's got good poise to his name and is overall a good passer in and out of the pocket. As a runner, he's obviously very athletic, but he's got fantastic vision to create explosive and game-changing runs. As a negative, he's just okay at reading defenses, he's prone to losing the ball on hits, and he's an inconsistent passer. The rawness of Daniels as an overall prospect is something big to watch. Daniels is a fun prospect to watch, and honestly, he's a little underrated. At this point on, teams who are absolutely needy of backup or third-string quarterbacks should be on the lookout for these guys. This is my guy in this upcoming draft. Cameron Ward out of Wazoo is 11th on this list. I've liked this guy since his incarnate Word days, and now it's time for him to shine. Ward has some fantastic quarterback traits that can be heavily utilized. First, his arm strength is at the top tier, especially since you note that he drops the ball perfectly on most deep balls. He's a very quick operator with good decisions and knowing when to get rid of the football. He also reads defenses fairly well, and that should translate to the big leagues. On the downside, Ward's pocket presence is not great. He's fine at escaping, but he often escapes too early before his processing is finished. He's a great playmaker, but he may not work great in a design. If Ward can develop into a starting talent, teams are going to need to work around him. If they can do that, they will absolutely succeed. Tyler Van Dyke is a redshirt junior quarterback out of Miami, and he comes 12th on this list. Van Dyke boasts a good amount of passing traits, and he kind of reminds me of Spencer Rattler in a way. First off, Van Dyke has a prototypical build at 6'4", 230 pounds. He possesses a big pot of good passing traits, including great adjustments and playmaking ability, solid arm strength, and accuracy. Along with the physical traits, he has some nice mental traits as a passer, including decent poise and some nice situational analysis, knowing when to force a pass or throw it away. A big lingering negative is his NFL translatability, as he's not great with his legs. He's not elusive enough to be an effective runner, and his pocket presence is already mediocre. Along with that, he has some passing concerns, including being slow on his processing, and he hasn't taken a significant step up from his sophomore season. Tyler Van Dyke has the potential to be a very solid pocket passer, but I can see his career turning out like I could see Tanner McKee's career turning out. I thought KJ Jefferson was too big for the league until I noticed that he's just a bunch of muscle. Here he lands on this list, being the 13th best quarterback prospect and 111th best prospect overall. Jefferson may be up there in age, but he's got a great chunk of traits. I think the first thing to point out is that despite his frame, he is surprisingly mobile. At the time of this recording, which is before the Florida game, he is sitting at 1,629 rushing yards on 3.4 yards per carry. As a passer, he's got a great mixture of strength, accuracy, and adjustments, putting together several impressive passing performances in his time at Arkansas. As previously mentioned, a lingering negative is his age, as he will be a 23-year-old rookie. Along with that, he has some concerning timing issues, and his mechanics just aren't up to par for an NFL prospect. KJ Jefferson has his flaws, but overall, I could see him becoming a very good backup quarterback. Another one of my guys if he's actually ranked 14th, Jordan Travis finally makes his appearance on this list. Travis is balling out this season, putting together a very solid Heisman campaign. Travis is the second best playmaker in this quarterback class, making elite plays out of the pocket and on the run. He's a natural leader with 4 years of 8 games played or more, and he's shown that in his pocket poise and pocket presence. He's also a very nice decision maker who can tell right from wrong. And while some passes can get risky, very minimally does he make just terrible decisions. On the downside, he doesn't have any elite traits, including in his accuracy and arm strength. He's also on the old side of things like Jefferson, this time being a 24-year-old rookie, so even worse. Finally, his frame is not great, and he may be viewed as undersized at the next level. Despite his age, I still do see Jordan Travis being a franchise quarterback given his great all-around traits. The final quarterback on this list is Tulane's Michael Pratt. He's ranked 150th overall. Tulane has put themselves on the map with prospects these last couple of years, and Pratt is no different. Pratt's talent and development is among the best in this class. It starts with his pretty good poise and his ability to make plays under pressure and in a clean pocket. He can escape the pocket, but he's not too elusive as a scrambler. He's got damn good accuracy and processing ability, especially when he's great at using his eyes for deception. His negatives are obviously going to start with his competition level, but outside of that, he doesn't have great arm strength. He's not a natural thrower when on the move, and he's not going to make any crazy flashy throws. With his lack of mobility in the open field, he won't have the easiest transition to the league. Pratt is a solid prospect, but noting his competition, the transition to the NFL could be difficult. The rest of the quarterbacks in the top 250 are Joe Milton, Devin Leary, Jayden Daniels, and Sam Hartman. The first 3 undrafted rookies are Austin Reed, Kyle McCord, and Will Howard. Well, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. This Wednesday, I have a power rankings for the NFL, and this Friday, I have a film study. If you're not subscribed, you're missing out. Once again, I'm Chase Keller from Chase Keller Journalism, and thank you guys so much for choosing this channel as your source of sports coverage. I'll see you guys in the next video.